anything but a classic, but a win to end the season, and I think we were all just relieved this game had nothing on it, as we were all expecting it to earlier in the year. Fulham match review. Last one of the season. Welcome back to the Black and White Banter, everyone. I hope all is well and you've enjoyed your Yorkshire puddings this afternoon. A win to finish the season at Fulham. 2-0 it finished up with goals from Joe Willock in the first half. Again, 7 in a row to match Shearers record, and a second half penalty late on from Fabian Schär, of all people, with a very, very composed penalty. So that's worth watching in the highlights if you haven't already. Far from a classic. I think anyone who watched the game would testify to that. For me, today's game pretty much defined both teams' seasons in a nutshell. Fulham, who dominated most of the second half and had majority of the football whilst we sat deep and camped in and let them play the ball around, cannot score for toffee. And that's probably one of the main reasons they have been relegated alongside some bad defending, but they cannot score for shit and haven't been able to all year. Us, on the other hand, looked okay in spells in the first half. We looked very pacey on the counter-attack. Second half, we sat back and were pretty atrocious at times, if I'm being totally honest, against one of the worst teams in the division. And that pretty much sums up our season. A couple of promises of hope, better football, only to go back on ourselves and play absolutely shite the following week or the following weeks to come. So I think the game very much summed up both teams' seasons in a nutshell. But a win's a win, and the game sent us up to the dizzy heights of fucking 12th in the league, everyone. 12th in the league, let's raise a glass to that. That was the best outcome we could have had today. I haven't looked at all of the Premier League results today, with there being so many games all at the same time. I haven't checked. But that was the best possible outcome we could have had, which is what has happened. And what I will say before I touch on the review of the actual game, I've got on social media tonight, if anyone has Facebook mainly, not so much Instagram, just the arguments that us finishing 12th in the league has caused between Newcastle fans. I don't know about yous, but I am fucking sick of it. Oh, he's done better than Rafa. Oh, where's all you Rafa bum boys at? Just give it a rest. It's all of a sudden now, if you'd gone back a month and a half ago, it was 99% wanted Bruce out and hated the man. Now there seems to be some sort of divide of like the people who quite like Bruce, who want him in charge, now having a go at those who still don't like him and saying, oh, but I bet you guys love Rafa Benitez. And this comparison between Benitez and Bruce has just gone on for 2 years now. And it literally makes me want to whack my head against this microphone. It's so boring. So all I've seen all night on social media since the full-time result is some fans saying we've done well to finish 12th and quite happy. Some saying they still want Bruce out. What a load of shite that game was. And it's just like two dinosaurs gnawing each other's heads off. And it's just boring. And I'm sick of it. So my view, before we touch on the Fulham game in a bit more detail, my view, and I'm not going to review the season now. I'll keep that for a video in the following week, because let's face it, I've got nothing else to post about now the matches are over. So I'm not going to touch on the season as a whole. All I'm going to say is I am far from in favour of Steve Bruce at the moment. Yes, our good players have come back. Yes, we've played a little bit better since Maximin Wilson came in the team. From the Tottenham game onwards, we've looked a lot better. But I am still yet to be convinced that Steve Bruce, bearing in mind everything that went on before the Tottenham game, most of the season has been absolutely diabolical football, some of the worst I've ever seen in my life. And I think there's a good core group of players there. Your Fernandezes, your Dubravkas, your Wilsons, your Maximins. There's a good group of core players that can be built around, and there's some potential there for an okay team. And there still has to be a better coach out there who can manage them players than Steve Bruce. Yes, we've had a good end to the season, and Steve Bruce will have contributed to that in some way. I am again of the belief that Graham Jones coming in had a massive change in the tactics. He needed those new ideas, which again to me, all that signals is the manager is tactically not there. And since Jones came in, we changed that system, and then obviously players got injured, they came back, and that system's continued to work. There has to be a manager, even under Mike Ashley, in my opinion, there has to be a better manager out there to take this group of players forward. Even if you're looking a little bit middle ground, I know obviously the name Eddie Howe gets mentioned. I'm not going to touch on who I would want or who's realistic. I just believe there has to be a better man than Steve Bruce, who's got the worst win percentage in the Premier League. In terms of games managed, I think he's higher than the likes of Tony Pulis, all of them sorts of managers. He's won his first Manager of the Month in 456 games of Premier League management, which is an astonishing stat, really. There just has to be better than him. He's slated us in press conferences all the way through the season, and there'll still be Newcastle fans out there who say some of the criticism from Bruce was justified. You don't criticise your own fans. You don't criticise your own fans when you're a fan, in my opinion. No matter what you think on people's opinions, you bite your lip and you just get on with the job and you prove those haters wrong. We've been called hysterical. We've been called a small minority. He constantly says this job is a very, not impossible job, but he's come out with statements like how hard it is up here, how high our expectations are, blah, blah, blah. And I think he hasn't liked coming in after Benitez. He knew it was a poison. Is it poison chalice? Is that expression? But he knew that coming in, and I'm still yet to be convinced. I'll give him. I don't even like to say I'll give him a pat on the back for the games the last 4 or 5 weeks, but I'm sick of seeing that argument on social media. But moving on, let's talk about the Fulham review. This is the Fulham match review, so I'm not going to get into that until later in the week. Today, I thought first 25 minutes, 30 minutes, I thought we were okay. We pressed quite high. The likes of Willock, Almiron, Maximin, obviously we played without a striker today, which I was a little bit concerned about when I saw the team, because that's not something we've done very much before. So, but obviously I knew going into that Bruce would just let Maximin roam and do his thing, and players like that false number 9, if you like. A bit like Man City do. He's got after the Pep Guardiola model. Following Pep's books. So we started well, and I thought there was a high press. There was an intent to get that ball back when we lost it, and we always looked dangerous on the counter-attack. I thought Willock's goal just summed up Wilson in a nutshell, exactly what we've missed. I was talking to my dad this weekend. Since Cabaye left in 2014, I think he went, we have not had that central midfielder who busts along to get in the box, have a shot and support his forwards. Willock summed up his season for us since he signed. Getting the ball just near halfway and just carrying it, running at defenders, causing them problems, and then he wants that shot. Yes, he got a bit lucky, the way the ball bounced back for him to have another go. But again, hell of a finish, fantastic finish. We need to do everything in our power. And I'm not saying we are going to get Willock. It's probably unrealistic. There's probably other clubs sniffing him now. The likes of West Ham, Leicester, all these sorts of teams might be taking a look now. But we've got to at least ask the question, if there is a budget from Ashley, and who fucking knows what money's going to be available this summer? You don't know, I don't know. There's takeover talks going on in the background with regards to the Premier League fighting them. There's the Daily Mail report we're going to have 12 million to spend. I mean, 12 million in today's day and age. I think my nana costs more than 12 million. And that's without the nice cup of teas. You don't even get them included. So like 12 million is nothing. And if that's true, that's scary. But we need to at least have a conversation. I'm sure Bruce, he will be in charge next year, Bruce, as long as nothing changes with the takeover situation. He will have a conversation about Joe Willock. If he gets outpriced from Arsenal, which he probably will, then that's by the by that one. But can we just say thank you, Joe Willock? Because if you think about all of the points he's rescued, a point against, he scored against Southampton, we won. A point against Tottenham he rescued. He got the winner against West Ham, there's 2 more points. He got a point against Liverpool. He got the winner against Sheffield United. He got the winner, almost the winner today. I mean, it's just incredible. I've never known a lone player come in and have an impact like Joe Willock has. And it was clear for all to see that central midfield linchpin was what we needed to support the forwards, to go alongside John Joe Shelby, who sits a little bit deeper. So fair play to Bruce. If Bruce was the one who went out and said, he's what we need, credit where credit's due to him, because that was a good signing. And that's helped us. Why he never played him from the start? He kept him on the bench as a super sub for quite a long time. Why he never played more football, I don't know. But we got there in the end and we're safe. As this first half wore on, as we got to the last stages, Fulham started to creep into the game a little bit more. And then we went in at half-time. Wasn't the best game of football as we expected, but what the hell happened in the second half? I mean, what was all that about? We literally camped in our own half, let Fulham have all of the ball, and they just attacked and attacked. They missed the City. Don't know how he missed. Definitely sums up Fulham's season. If I was a Fulham fan, I'd be pulling my hair out even watching that today. But I just got frustrated again because all I felt like with what we saw in that second half was the Newcastle we've watched for 70% of the season so far. Yes, we've been a lot better for 6-7 weeks, but what we saw in that second half was just hoping for that bit of a counter-attack. And when we won the penalty with about 3 minutes of the game to go through Matt Ritchie, fantastic penalty by Fabian Schär. My God, balls of steel. His bollocks are the size of this bottle. I mean, he to step up and take a penalty as cool as that. But it just didn't do. I felt like, and it might be because I'm not for Steve Bruce, but I just feel like that second goal going in, it just adds ammunition to the pundits to look at the scoreline who haven't actually watched the game and say, fantastic result for Newcastle. Goal in the first half, goal in the second half. Another easy win for them at Fulham. When actually the second half, we just defended for almost the full half. That's pretty much how the second half went. So, yeah, on paper it looks a much more comfortable win than what it was because the second half we were penned in and Fulham, if he had more quality, would have taken advantage of that and he missed an absolute sitter. Honourable mentions performance-wise today, I think I'm going to avoid talking about the season as a whole. I know it's easy with it being the last game, but Jacob Murphy today, fantastic. He was good. He's come in recently and he's made a massive, massive difference to us. He's been very pacey going forward. Can get a decent ball in the box, but defensively he's also looked okay. And he's a good grafter. And he's a Newcastle fan, which always makes a nice bit of difference because you know you're going to get that graft. So, great performance from Murphy today. I thought Sean Longstaff looked... We haven't seen him for a full game for a while. He looked okay. He looked better than what he's looked. What I have seen of him when he has played for us the last 2 or 3 months, he looked okay today. Maximin was poor by his standards. I thought Maximin had an off day today. He lost the ball quite a lot. He looked frustrated. In this false nine position, I'm not sure that's for him. I think Maximin is suited to not doing it alone up top by himself. He is suited to playing off a forward, and we will see the most out of Maximin by him being able to do that. Him playing the ball and then running off that forward and looking for through balls, etc. So I didn't think he had the best day at the office today. With regards to Almiron, I'm critical of Almiron, and I think today he had a lot of freedom, especially in that first half. Between the lines, there was a lot of space when he was coming forward, and I just think Miguel Almiron lacks quality. And he's a £20 million attacking player. And please correct me if I'm wrong, Newcastle fans, but when he's running forward, he's in that final position where we're like, go on, like push on, get at them. He just doesn't know what to do. And quite often, his final ball also lacks quality. Is it the Steve Bruce factor? I don't think attacking-wise Steve Bruce can be a great coach, and I wonder whether Almiron has qualities there that could be made a little bit better with the right coach in the right direction. I don't know, but I am still yet to be convinced on Almiron as a quality attacking player. Thought Shelvey played okay today. He didn't play too bad. Defensively, to say Fulham put a lot of pressure on us in the second half, we were quite sound defensively. I am quite happy at the moment with Fernandes, Kraft and Dummett, and that's because they have played together now for 2 or 3 games and they are looking more and more comfortable with each other. And I was the first to criticise most of the season Emil Kraft. Emil Kraft for me now looks most comfortable in that 3 centre-back role. When he's at full-back, he looks a bag of shite. Emil Kraft to me is not a full-back. He's got no quality going forward. He's got no pace. He's a little bit flimsy. When he did play at full-back, he was a little bit flimsy in the tackle. But it's centre-back. Again, I haven't seen much of him to say that he's put too much of a foot wrong in the last couple of fixtures. So credit where credit's due to Kraft as well. That's it really. I think we didn't offer too much to really analyse anyone's performance too much. Richie put in a shift again. And again, I haven't been up Richie's arse like a lot of Newcastle fans have since he's come back in the team. But today he was solid. He did well to win the penalty. He got a couple of crucial interceptions. He won a couple of good headers as well, because they did put a lot of pressure on the second half. Now, with regards to sort of the striking position, I was a little bit frustrated, Newcastle fans. I don't know what you think. Andy Carroll didn't get any game time today. Was that because he's on this pay-as-you-play system and he wasn't allowed to come on today? I don't know, but I mean, there was calls for him to start the game. He's a born and bred Newcastle fan, and why Bruce hasn't given him 5 minutes to run out today, I don't know. And if I was Andy Carroll, I'd be frustrated with that, because he's never going to kick a ball for us again. If he gets another contract from Newcastle United, I will literally bite off my own testicle and serve it to myself on a plate with chips, because he's done nothing for us. He's apparently on decent wages as well, and I'll be gobsmacked if Bruce goes into Ashley's boardroom and says, let's get Andy Carroll tied up another year. I just don't think it's going to happen, and I was disappointed that he's a Newcastle fan, born and bred, played for us twice now, and the fact he never got a kick out and Dwight Gale got a look in is a bit disappointing, because let's face it, Newcastle fans, Dwight Gale cannot hit a barn door at the moment, which confuses me, and a lot of Newcastle fans will say Dwight Gale is so poor at the moment because he's a championship player. But the chance that Dwight Gale had today with his head, just nut it in, mate. That's no different to having a chance in the Championships. That's where the argument, I don't understand. He's a different... Yes, he's playing in the Premier League. It's a different, more difficult league. But he's still getting in the positions to take chances. And he's not doing what we've always known of previous Championship years. And Dwight Gale generally to do for us in years gone by is put the ball in the back of the net. I've vouched for him quite a few times and said he knows where the goal is. I'm starting to think he really doesn't. Like that header today, he just shut his eyes, like, hope for the best. And it was such a sitter. And he's missed lots and lots of chances when he's come in. He's got a couple of crucial ones. I remember he got the header against Aston Villa earlier in the season to equalise. So he's got a couple of crucial ones. But generally speaking, he's been really bad in front of goal when he's played for us. So, again, I would have preferred to see Andy Carroll come in for him. Fabian Schär with the penalty, honourable mention just for how literally I don't give a fuck ballsy that was to take it like the way he did. Obviously nothing to play for, but still. And that's the season wrapped up. Not the best game. None of us expected it to be the best game. There'll be no neutral in the world watching that. Unless you're a Newcastle or a Fulham fan, you are not tuning into that game today. I was even tempted to flick on the race for top four, the Leicester-Chelsea back and forth. That looked dramatic. So, wasn't the best game of football. Fulham have no quality at all, and we just, we caught them on the counter-attack in the first half, and then we won a penalty. But it's another win, and we've gone to those dizzy heights of 12th in the league. If you'd have given me 12th in the league after that Brighton performance back in March, I think it was March or early April, I would have literally given you every last penny I had in my bank account to bite your hand off for 12th in the league. We looked down and out at that point. So, because we looked so down and out, I've got to say hats off to all the lads, all the players and the coaching staff, because something has happened there. Yes, Maximin came back, which gave everybody a lift, because he can do things with the football that I couldn't even dream about doing on a dance floor or in the bedroom with a female. He is that silky with a football. He is fantastic. So that was a boost. We knew we missed Wilson because he's scored 60% of our goals this season. So was that the catalyst for us getting back to where we are and getting 12th in the league? I don't know. I think Maximin, yes, massively. But hats off to the lads. I would have never expected us to finish 12th going back to that day, that awful day after that Brighton game. I might actually go back and watch my match review for that game, because it was that bad. So credit where credit's due for that. Has this season been a successful season? Well, I will touch on it in a video later in the week. No, I don't want to have too much of a short memory, and I am worried, and I'm just going to say it now. All of the positive comments I'm seeing from fans now, I just think a lot of them have short memories. And yes, I've been over the moon with the Tottenham game, the West Ham game, the Liverpool point, I can't even remember the other results that we've come in since. The Burnley win, all the games that have been and come and gone recently, I've been happy with those, but I'm not going to sit here and it's been a great season and say, bring on next year, because it's been a shower of shite for a lot of it. And let's not forget that, Newcastle fans. Yes, we missed big players, but lots of clubs do, and we still had a decent core team there. Yes, we had COVID in December, but that's no excuse for what followed that once the players have recovered for a very long time. So I'm over the moon with 12th position with regards to where we were sitting, and fair play to the lads and all the coaching team for that. But I'm not going to say this year's been a successful season, but it was nice to finish on a win today. We did get as high as we possibly could. So in terms of a Sunday going as well as possible, today it did. Wasn't the best performance to finish on with regards to that second half. But the season of uncertainty begins. Who's going to come in transfer-wise? We're going to assume that Bruce is going to be given another year at the helm. Of course, he's going to be given another year at the helm. What's going to happen with the court arbitration process? The Premier League have till the 9th of June to respond on that. Who fucking knows where our football club is going to be in 3 months? If that isn't the most Newcastle United statement anyone could ever make, then I don't know what is, because I certainly don't know where we'll be, who the manager will be, who the owner will be, what players we'll have in place. God knows. All I know is we are a Premier League club, Newcastle fans, and all I want to sign off on on a positive is that this game today would have been literally the worst day of our lives in terms of it being down to the wire, relegation decided between us and Fulham, and it wasn't. It wasn't. We went there with nothing to play for. We got a comfortable 3 points on the Thames, and we signed off with a win. So let's have a beer tonight, take stock of the season, and I'll touch down with you later in the week for a season review. And I just want to say, Newcastle fans, for everybody who's supported my channel this season, I started this during lockdown. Steve Bruce drew me to doing my own football. He sent me to it through frustration where I did a rant. I've really enjoyed doing these videos. I love doing the Facebook and Instagram stuff. So all of my loyal supporters who watch every one of my videos, and I know you guys are out there. There's a lot of guys comment on my videos every single time. I just want to say thank you very much for supporting me. I cannot wait to come back next season with more match reviews, better content. I'm hoping to increase my knowledge of my designs, my graphics, all that sort of stuff. And let's just see where Black and White Banter can go. The Magpie channel, just watch. You just watch. I'm coming for you. Thanks for watching, Newcastle fans. Let us know what you think of today's game, the season so far. The season as a whole, it's done now. And what your hopes and expectations might be for next season. Click like, click subscribe, and get us on Facebook and Instagram. And for the final time, God, I think I've just been chopping onions. I'm not crying. Final match review of the season. I just want to say thanks all for watching, and I cannot wait to come back next season bigger and better with a Saudi hat on, because we've been taken over and we've got £300 million to spend. Wishful fucking thinking. Enjoy your night, Toon fans.